So today's video, we're going to be following our series with Exodus. And we kind of like skipped, a few things because we skipped where the plagues were happening. So the recap, we were in the series of Exodus. It says, until it becomes you for kingdom helpers. Now this series is transferring over to where the children of Israel are now moving out of Egypt. They're moving out of Egypt and they're going into a new land. So when we think of new land, we think of the term of Goshen. So I don't know if you heard of this term before. Welcome everyone that's coming in. How are you? Thank you for everyone that is coming in or that's peeking in. So the land of Goshen. So first of all, the land of Goshen is a Hebrew name. It's a Hebrew name. And it's a place that's in Egypt, so given to the Hebrews by the Pharaoh of Joseph. So the land of Goshen, the land from which they later left Egypt at the time of Exodus. So, it's all falls into effect because I forgot that, this is the land that actually God gave them. So this is all falling into effect. So Goshen, I want to just look up, because I remember Goshen is considered the land of plenty, the land of plentiful. So let's look up Goshen. They say Goshen means drawing near. Also, Goshen means the place of comfort and plenty. So this is what God has promised them. He has promised them a land of plenty and a land of space. So as they are exiting out the land of Egypt, they're moving out of the land of Egypt, the children of Israel, and they're leaving. And so this time it says, thereto the whole community of Israel complain about Moses and Aaron. So they're complaining about Moses and Aaron because they've been complaining this whole time, keep in mind. They've been complaining this whole time because, and I forgot if I put tags in here or not. I should have put tags in here, but I don't know if I did or not, but it's okay. I'll put it in later. So, they've been complaining about Moses and Aaron because it hasn't been going the way that they expected it to go. They wanted to not be slaves anymore, but they didn't want it to happen in this matter. They didn't want to have to leave without food, water, in a place of knowing like if it's going to be food and water there. So as they're moving out of Egypt, they're starting to complain. They're saying, if only the Lord had killed us back in Egypt. And mind you guys, I'm reading from the NLT version. I kind of switched versions. So I switched from the NIV to the King James version. I read those mostly, but now I have been looking at the NLT version. And we're at Exodus 16, Exodus chapter 16, verse 3. If you guys want to follow me. If not, you could just listen. So they say, if only the Lord had killed us back in Egypt. So this is what they're saying. They moaned. They said, there we sat around pots filled with meat and ate all the bread we wanted. But now you have brought us into this wilderness to starve us all to death. So now they're saying, now that they're, not a slave anymore, they're not getting beat, they're not getting filled with loads of work. And remember I told you in the last series last week, kingdom helpers, people that's going to advocate on your behalf when you are not strong enough to help yourself, to defend yourself. God will send these people to advocate on your behalf. So he sent Moses, he sent Aaron, which is Moses' brother. Because, see, Moses wasn't able to, speak. He wasn't able to speak. He told God, I don't think I could do this. I don't think I could speak to these people because I was the same person who was oppressing these people. I don't know what to say to them. And even though God told him, I will give you the words to speak, he still didn't have faith. He still didn't have enough faith to believe he can speak on their behalf. So then God says, well, what about your brother Aaron? So now Aaron and Moses is going to be the advocate for the children of Israel. So now that they're advocating for the children of Israel, they're leading them out of slavery. They're leading them into a new land. Now they're complaining. They said, we sat around. Hi, NRGs. How are you? Hope you are well. How are you doing this evening? I don't know if it's evening for you, but it's evening for me. So, hello, how are you doing? We're reading Exodus. You said good. That's great. That is great to hear. Yes, so we are reading Exodus. I don't know if you're going to be here too long, but we're reading Exodus chapter 16, verse 4. I'm at the verse 4 now. So, yes, thank you. You said okay. So now that Aaron and Moses have led them out of Egypt, they're moving into a new land, and now they're complaining. They're saying that it was better when they were a slave because at least they had food. At least they had, somewhere to sleep at. But now they don't know where they're going to eat. They don't know where they're going to sleep at. So then the Lord said to Moses, look, I'm going to rain down food from heaven for you. See how God will still make a way. Even though, we're complaining. We complain and, we don't see the vision that God is doing for us because he's working behind the scenes and we don't know what he's doing for us. We assume to think like, oh, well, nothing's being done because why? It's not happening quick enough for us. So we are the I would like to say fast food generation. Like we like everything quickly, fast. And it seemed like people in this time, they were the same. So they say, let me see. So God said to them that he's going to rain food from heaven for them. And each day people can go out and pick up as much food as they need for the day. He said, I will test them in this to see whether or not they will follow my instructions. See, that's the thing. When God is moving in your life, you want to make sure you're following his instructions. Following his instructions because it's vital. It's vital to us, because if we do anything the slightest way, it could go against the will of God. It could go against how he will want us to move into our purpose, into our destiny. So this is why we have to follow his instructions from front to back. And so on the sixth day, they will gather food, the Lord says, and they will prepare it, and there will be twice as much as usual. See, even though, and no matter if we don't have food, he will give us more than what we ask for. He will give us more than what we even, desire to begin with. We complain for a little, but God will bless us twice as more. So he said there will be twice as much as usual. And then he goes to say, so Moses and Aaron said to all the people of Israel, by evening you will realize it was the Lord who brought you out of the land of Egypt. See, this is the season God is saying, I need no assistance. I will not need no assistance to move you out of this season. So if you're in a season and you're praying to God for something and you're asking him to move you out, to shift you into a new direction, God is saying, do not look onto the old things. Do not look to your own understanding, but focus on me. Focus on me, because if sometimes when we don't know where we're going and we go into the unknown because the unknown is very scary, we go back to what's comfortable, and what's comfortable is what we used to. So that may be old friends, there may be calling up family members, and God says, I need no assistance in this season. I need no assistance. I'm the one who's going to sign off. It's just like a check. He's going to sign off on your behalf because he wants you to know that it is him that did it for you, that it is him that did it. And then he says, in the morning you will see the glory of the Lord because he has heard your complaints, which are against him, not against us. What have we done that you should complain about us? Then it says, then Moses added, the Lord will give you meat to eat in the evening and bread to satisfy you in the morning. For he has heard all your complaints against him. See, that's the thing that I don't understand. And this is my first time reading Exodus. But what I do not understand is how we complain so much. Like they literally was complaining this whole time. And, they were complaining when they was a slave. They was complaining when they was not a slave. They always found something to complain about. And this is why God says when he is shifting you into a new season, a new land, he needs for you to make sure that you be of gratitude. That you be of gratitude. Hello, WWJD. Are you black? Yes, I am black. I'm also Hispanic as well, though. Yes, thank you. Welcome in. How are you? So yes, we are reading the book of Exodus. Should I just do I call you WWJD or can I call you JD? But we are reading Exodus. Thank you. So yes, so we are reading Exodus, and so God is saying during this season, we want to make sure that we are not complaining. We are not complaining during this season. And if you are losing faith, just pray. Pray during that time. Pray and ask God to give you strength and to keep your faith strong. So it says here, yes, your complaints are against the Lord and not against us. Then Moses said to Aaron, announce this to the entire community of Israel. Present yourself before the Lord, for he has heard your complaining. And as Aaron spoke to the whole community of Israel, they looked out towards the wilderness. There they could see the awesomeness of God. No. Let me go back. There they could see the awesome glory of the Lord in the cloud. Then the Lord said to Moses, I have heard the Israelites' complaints. Now tell them, in the evening you will... Oh, we already read this part, did we? In the evening you will have meat to eat. In the morning you will have bread all you want. Okay, so yes, so God is providing them. He's providing them meat during the evening and bread during the day. So he's not going to let them go without. He said, then you will know that I am your Lord God. He's saying that evening, vast numbers of quail flew in and covered the camp. And the next morning, the area around the camp was wet with dew. When the dew evaporated, a flaky substance as fine as frost blanketed the ground. The Israelites was puzzled when they saw it. What is it, they say. They asked each other. They had no idea what it was. And Moses told them, it is the food the Lord has given you to eat. Oh, wait a minute. So it was like... See, you know what? And I was thinking like the manna bread was literally bread. Like this is why you have to read the Bible, because I literally thought when people say manna bread, like I literally thought it was bread. So they're saying that it was a dew evaporated flaky substance as fine as frost. So it was like very thin then, WWJD says, God will provide. Yes, he will definitely provide. Even when we don't see a way, he would definitely provide. You are right. You are right, my friend here. So now we go to the chapter. And so Moses told them, "It is the food the Lord has given you to eat. These are the instructions. Each household should gather as much as needed. Pick up 2 quarts for each person in your tent." So the people of Israel did as they were told. Some gathered a lot, some only a little. But when they measured it out, everyone just had enough. And you know what? It reminds me of, remember when God was preaching that big sermon, and they had like the 2 loaves, I think it was 2 fishes and 5 loaves of bread, and God made it into multitudes. WWJD says, "Oh, yes, you know what? I am learning too, because I didn't know that. I didn't know that the manna bread was like as frost. So I didn't know that. But yes, God will always provide more than what we ask for. And so the chapter goes on to say, "Then Moses told them, 'Do not keep any of it until morning.' But some of them didn't listen, and they kept some until morning." See, they were disobedient. For real, ready for church tomorrow? You are ready for church tomorrow? Yes. Yes, I can't wait. I cannot wait. You noob. Hello, I'm both. How are you? Welcome in. Welcome in. Thank you so much for joining. If you want to pull out your Bible, you can. We're just Bible study, Exodus. So, and you know what? It is okay to be a noob. Everybody is technically a noob when it comes to God's word. So it's definitely okay for everyone to learn God's word. We're not going to be perfect in this thing, right? But God does ask us to strive for perfection, because he wants us to walk like him. This is why he made himself a perfect example. He came in the flesh to resemble it to us, to show us an example. So we're all going to be noobs here. It is night. Yes, it is night for me. Is it night for you? It is night for me, yes. So anyways, let's continue here. It says, "So they kept some of the manna here. Even though the Lord has instructed them to not keep some of the manna, they still kept some of the manna until the morning." So it says, "But by then it was full of maggots and it had a terrible taste." So this is, no, a terrible smell. Oh, you said yes, it is night for you. Okay. Yes, it is night. You know what? I meant to come on here earlier. I said I was going to come on here by 5 p.m., but I had some family things that I had to take care of. But yes, I haven't set a good schedule yet. I'm going to come up with a good schedule. I have to ask the Lord what time he wants me to come on here. But yes, as the children of Israel began to be disobedient to God, they started to keep the manna. And the reason why God told them to not keep the manna was because it was spoiled. God doesn't have to always explain himself. He just wants us to follow his instructions. And so when they did not follow his instructions, the manna became of maggots and it had a terrible smell to it. So Moses was very angry with them, because sometimes when you have one person that is counterfeiting the blessing of God, meaning that you can have a group of people praying, and God says when 2 or 3 come together, there he is in the midst. But when you have that one person like Judas who's counterfeiting the blessing, it kind of stops things. So this is where it's at. So Moses was very angry with them. And it goes to say, after this, the people gathered the food the food morning by morning, each family according to his needs. And as the sun became hot, the flakes they had not picked up melted and disappeared. On the sixth day, they gathered twice as much as usual, fourth course for each person, and instead of two. And then all the leaders of the community came and asked Moses for an explanation. He told them, "This is what the Lord commanded. Tomorrow will be a day of complete rest, a holy Sabbath day set apart for the Lord. So bake or boil as much as you want today and set aside what is left for tomorrow." So God is also reminding Moses to remind them to keep the Sabbath day holy, to keep it at a rest day, to not do all of this stuff on his day, but to keep it holy and to be at rest, because God did rest on the Sabbath day. So he wanted his children to also have a rest day, to keep in mind that it's not always about work, but it's also about resting. So you can be ready for the next time, for work the next time. And so they put some aside until morning, just as Moses had commanded, and in the morning leftover food was wholesome and good without maggots or odor. And see, this is the thing. When they're following instruction, guess what? It's the complete opposite of what it was before. When they didn't follow instructions, there was maggots and it was a smell. But when they followed instructions, it wasn't no smell and it wasn't maggots. Because why? They followed God's instructions. So Moses says, "Eat this food today, for today is a Sabbath day dedicated to the Lord. There will be no food on the ground today, and you may gather the food for 6 days, but the seventh day is the Sabbath day, so there will be no food on the ground that day." Some of the people went out anyway on the Sabbath day, but they found no food. See, this is the thing. You cannot do it your way. You cannot do it your way. You have to do it as God has instructed, because why? I mean, if you don't do it his way, you're going to see. It's not going to happen the way that you want it to happen, because why? You're not building on solid foundation. You're not building on solid foundation. Thank you. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the hearts and smiley faces, guys. Thank you so much. I hope you guys are doing well today. It's cold over by me, so I'm wearing a jacket here. I also got my space heater on too. It's really cold by me, so I hope you guys are staying warm. But yes, so the Lord, what I was saying is, it is important for us to follow his instructions, because that way we're building on solid foundation, and nothing that we do will fall against God. Because why? We're walking into the purpose that he has for our lives. But when we don't follow his instructions, then it's like it falls down. So they say they must realize that the Sabbath day is the Lord's gift to you. See, like I say, the Lord wants you to rest on this day. If we just work, how can our bodies be recuperated to work again? We'll be so tired, we'll be so fatigued. So this is why God says, they say they must realize that the Sabbath is the Lord's gift to you. So this is the gift that God gave to you, is a rest day, to reboot, to regenerate energy and stuff like that. He said that is why he gives you a 2-day supply on the 6th day, so there would be enough for 2 days. On the 7th day, you must each stay in your place. Do not go out to pick up food on the Sabbath day. So the people did not gather any food on the Sabbath day. The Israelites called the food manna. It was like white, like a curator seed, and it tastes like honey wafers. Oh, see, look, and they even explained to you how it would taste. Hi, Bloom. How are you? You said amen. And I like how you have your name in the title there. That is really nice. I like the fonts there. Thank you. Thank you for joining in. We're reading the book of Exodus. If you want to join in, we're reading Exodus 16 and we're at the 32 verse if you want to join. So then it goes to say, then Moses said, this is what the Lord has commanded. Filled a 2-quart container with manna to preserve it for you and your descendants. Then later generations will be able to see the food I gave you in the wilderness when I set you free from Egypt. See, God will make a way. He will make a way. No matter what season you are in your life, he will make a way. He will make a way if you don't have no food. He will make a way if your finances is not where it wants to be. He will make a way if your credit score is not where you want it to be. He will make a way. He will make a way for you spiritually. If you feel like even not something that's tangible, something that's spiritual, internal, he will make a way for that too. Because let's say that you're fighting against things that you want to stop doing. Like let's say maybe you're smoking. Let's say fornication or something that's goes against God, and you feel like your flesh has mastered you, because God tells us that we have to come into accordance of mastering our flesh. Mastering our flesh is mastering our desires, our personal desires that goes against God's will. So this is why, God will make a way for us. You tell him, Lord, it's your will. Please give me the strength to fight against temptation, fight against all of these things that goes against you. You have to ask him that. So let's see. I think I lost where I was at. Let me see. Oh, Moses says to Aaron, get a jar and fill it with 2 quarts of manna, then put it in a scarred place before the Lord to preserve it for all the future generations. Aaron did just as the Lord had commanded Moses. He eventually placed it in the Ark of the Covenant in front of the stone tablets inscribed with the terms of the covenant. So the people of Israel ate manna for 40 years until they arrived at the land where they were. Wait a minute. I'm going so fast. So for the 40 years until they arrived at the land where they would settle. That's where I wanted to say, would settle. So they ate the manna until it came to the border of the land of Canaan, or Canaan. Is it Canaan? I think it's Canaan. The container used to measure the manna was in omer, which was 1/10 of an eighth. 1/10 of an eighth. It held about 2 quarts. And then, the chapter continues. So basically what I wanted to do was read Exodus 16 to recap everything that we have learned from, was it Wednesday and Monday? I think it was last Wednesday, we were doing this chapter here. But now we are moving into Joshua, because see, this is where they actually went to the promised land. This is where they actually went to the promised land. This is when Moses have died, and now someone's new in charge. Now the Lord has charged to Joshua to complete the mission. See, even when the first destiny helper, even if they can't get you all the way there to the finish line, because God will send different kingdom helpers to help you. And even if the original one that he sent out cannot get you to the finish line, he will continue to send people in your favor. So now we have Joshua in charge. So he says, after the death of Moses, the Lord's servants, the Lord spoke to Joshua, son of Nun, Moses' assistant. He said, Moses, my servant is dead. Therefore, the time has come for you to lead these people, the Israelites, across the Jordan River into the land I am giving them. I promise you that I promised Moses, wherever you set foot, you will be on the land I have given you, from the Negev. Some of these words, sometimes I cannot pronounce it. I think Negev, wilderness in the south to Lebanon, mountains in the north from the Euphrates River, in the east of the Mediterranean Sea, in the west, including all of the land of the Hittites. No one will be able to stand against you as long as you live. For I will be with you as long as I was with Moses. See, he's telling you, he's saying, no matter who's in charge or who's not in charge, no matter where you're going or where you're not going, I'm going to always be there. I will always be there. I will never leave you, lead you on a blank mission. I will always be with you. You can always count on me to be here. Now, the thing is that why it's so important to resonate with that is because we have so many people that come and go in and out our lives. Maybe it's a boyfriend, maybe it's a girlfriend, maybe it's just a friend, maybe it's different jobs. You're always going to be going in and out of new seasons. And you're going to meet new people, but at the same time, you may not see these people again. You may not be able to count on these people, and sometimes you could be sad about it. Hi, Addie. How are you? How are you doing? I like your new profile picture as well. You said hi. Yeah, so when we are in a season of people coming in and out our lives, we tend to think like, well, what happened? Or what did I do? Or why did they do it? And then we left with ourselves and our thoughts. And so those thoughts come back to calling onto our God, which he will always be here. Thank you, Addie, for joining. You were here last week. So, yes, we are still reading Exodus, but now we done went to Joshua, Addie, to finish the series here. So he says, Princess. Hi, Princess. How are you? You said hi. Great. I needed to hear this. Thanks so much. Thank you. Yes, I needed to hear it too, honestly. So, yes, I hope everybody, because I didn't see you on Valentine's Day, Addie. I hope you had a great Valentine's Day. You as well, Princess. I hope you had a great Valentine's Day. And happy February as well to everyone. So, yes, God is saying this to us. So he says, no one will be able to stand against you as long as you live, for I will be with you as I was with Moses. I will not fail you or abandon you. So even as he told our ancestors this is always the same for us as well. Why? Because God's word never changed and God never changed. He's always been the same since the beginning of time. So as he told our ancestors this also goes for us too. He says, I will be with you as I was with Moses. I will never fail you or abandon you. And he says, happy February. Thank you. And so, yes, and so God also continues to say, thank you, Addie, for the hearts. I think it's Addie or Princess who's doing it. Thank you. He says, be strong and courageous. So the one thing that God wants us to always remember is to be strong and courageous. And, we tend to lose courage. We tend to feel weak during the times that we are going through trials and tribulations. But God always wants us to remember during those times, do not fall short. Do not be weak, because he is here. He's going to give us the strength. He's going to give us the courage. And so even when we do fall weak, he said that is when his power is the most sufficient for us. He will always be here for us. You say, Princess says, I hope you had a good day. Thank you. Yes, I did. We actually are in the process of moving, so I've been packing. I was supposed to get on here earlier today, but we have been packing. I hope you had a great day too. I hope you had a great day. If you did something fun, that is so nice. So yes, God is saying, For you are the one who will lead these people to possess all the land. So this is what he's telling Joshua now. He said, you going to be the one to lead these people now, because Moses is dead. So keep in mind, Moses is dead. So he says, be strong and very courageous, because he needs somebody that's going to be strong and courageous so he could be the forefront, because he can't have a weak link leading a group of people into a new land. He has to keep this person that's leading them into the new land to be strong. He says, be careful to obey all the instructions Moses gave you. Do not do not deviate from them, turning either to the right or to left. See, do you know, like when you're at a job, right? When you are working a job, they give you a worker's handbook. They're telling you, do not bend the rules. Even if you want to bend the rules a little bit, they ask you to not bend the rules, especially when it's regarding safety. Like, let's say like not liquidation, but something like a hazardous waste. They don't want you to miss no steps in regards to it, because why? It could cause like a fire. It could cause I don't know, maybe fatal death or something like that. So it is the same with God's law, because typically it is fatal death, because each and every time when we go against his law and commandments, it's almost like sudden death. Why? Because we fall into sin. And what is sin? Death. So this is why he says, do not turn from the right or to the left. So meaning, don't try to bend the rules. Don't try to take the shortcut, but follow my commandment from top to bottom. He said, then you will be successful in everything you do. And it reminds me, I believe, John 15, verse 7, if I'm not mistaken. John 15, verse 7, wherein God says, abide in me as I will abide in you, and you shall bear many fruit, but without me you shall bear nothing. Princess says, so what can we do so we can be better? What? Addie's here too. Addie says, I'm learning so much right now. Oh, really? Really? Thank you. Yes, I'm, you know what? I'm learning too. I'm learning with you. Princess said, what could we do? I would say the best thing for us to do, like during these times, and the reason why I say this is because I'm even going through it myself. When God gives me a word, it's not that I preach to you guys so you can do it, but it's because I go through it as well. So right now I'm going through a moving situation. At first it was terrible. I'm not going to lie, because I don't like to move. But move is a good change. But, during the time I was stressed out. And God was telling me, do not be afraid, because this move is good. Hi, Bob. Hello, Bob. How are you? Bob 42. How are you? But Princess, I was trying to answer you. So during this time is to keep faith. And to lean not on our own understanding, because our own understanding, we could deceive our own self. We could deceive our own self and trick our own self out of the blessing. Because why? The devil would send different type of thoughts saying, oh, this is not going to happen for me. Oh, this is not going to work out. Oh, it would be something like that. So during that time, I would say to not lean on our own understanding, and to keep faith, and to keep in prayer, because prayer works. Even when God was finna get ready to be crucified, he prayed 3 times. 3 times to the Father he prayed. And he said, this cup is heavy. Lord, if it's your will, take it from me. If it's not, then, I will go. Bob says, good. Bob says he's doing good. That's good. That's great. I'm happy that you are here, Bob. We are reading Exodus, Bob. Well, first we were reading Exodus, and now we're in Joshua 1. This is so helpful because I'm going through a lot right now, and this really helped my heart. Thanks so much. Thank you so much. You know what? I hope it's helping someone. It helps me. Right now, like I say, I try to read my Bible as much as I can, and I try to read it with you guys, because if I don't know something, I would like for y'all to help me too. You said this is about God. Yes, this is about God. This is about God, Bob. Yes, we are reading Joshua. Do you know the book of Joshua? And Addie, everything is going to be all right. I'm going to pray for you, okay? Everything is going to work out in your favor. God is going to move on your behalf because you are his daughter and he loves you so much. He loves you so much, Addie. He's not going to let you fall, okay? So I have to go back where I was at. I don't know where I was at. I have to see. Um oh, it's say be careful to obey all the instructions Moses gave you. Do not oh, no. We read that already. Oh, we were at, then you will be successful in everything you do. So God is saying when you follow his instructions, everything you do will fall in alignment, because why? You are falling into the purpose that he gave for your life. He says, study this book of instructions continually. See, he says we have to study this book continually. You said, all my life I'm going to cry. Thanks so much. Yes, you are okay. It is okay to cry. It is okay. He got you. He loves you. He's going to work on your behalf. He is your Prince of Peace. He is your Father. He is your counselor. He is your healer. He's everything that you can ask for. And when you feel like nobody's there, he's there for you. Because that's how I feel too. Like, I feel like right now, sometimes I feel like nobody's listening, but I have to always remind myself that God is listening. God is listening. And he's going to advocate on my behalf, your behalf, and everybody who's joining behalf. So, yes. So he says, study this book, instructions continually, meditate on it day and night. See, he wants us to continually. This means that you cannot just do it, one day and then forget about him a week later. You have to build a relationship with him. Build a rapid rapport with him, because why? It's like a relationship. Like when you build a friendship with somebody, you don't just get to know their name and then you forget about them next week. No, because why? You're not building a rapid rapport with them. You have to build something with somebody. So you know them, they know you. And how do we get to know God? Is by reading his word. How do we know that it's him that's talking to us? By getting into his word, learning how he talked, learning how he moved. Because the devil can send messages to us too, because when we start to think badly about ourselves, that is the devil sending that is not of God, because God said when he made all creation, it was of good. So we have to remember that when we speak bad about ourselves, that is not of God, that is of the devil. Because why? He wants us to think bad about ourselves. He wants us to think we're no good. He wants us to think because we fall short of God's glory that God is not going to call us back and that we're not his children. But we always his children. He always loves us and he's always going to be here with us. Oh, okay. I thought another comment came in. But so we're going to finish this here. It says... So basically, he was telling Joshua to make sure he continued to follow the instructions, the law of Moses, and meditate it day and night, so you will be sure to obey everything written in it. Only then will you prosper and succeed in all you do. This is my command. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or discouraged. See, that's the thing. Do not be afraid or discouraged. When you open up that portal, of discouragement, negativity, emotions. You are allowing Satan to consume you because why? Because he's starting to deceive you. He's starting to deceive you. He's starting to put words into your head to think that you bad or something like that. But God said we are good. Um I did not just come to this live for no reason. God lined it up so I could hear this amazing message. Thank you so much, Addie. I'm happy because, if God brought you here, I'm definitely happy, and I definitely want you to bring everything I say back to God to see if it aligns to what he say. That's why I ask everybody that joined to open up the book so they could follow and see what I'm reading too. But I'm definitely happy that you are here. And I'm going to pray for you too. I'm going to pray for you tonight once I leave the stream tonight. I'm going to pray for you. And I know that everything is going to work out in your favor. So, yes, I'm going to continue to read here. Let's see, where was I at? He says, so the Lord is telling Joshua, this is my command. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or discouraged, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. So during this time, always remember that God is with us. God is with us. And no matter if you don't see a way out, there is a way out. There is a way out. God is going to activate his power and authority on your behalf, and he's going to make a way. He's going to make a way. So now Joshua charged to the Israelites. So Joshua then commanded the officer of Israel, go through the camp and tell the people to get their provision ready. In 3 days you will cross the Jordan River and take possession of the land. So now the Israelites are getting ready to cross over. They're getting ready to cross over the Jordan River to take what God has given them. This is their inheritance. So now they're crossing over. And Joshua says, then Joshua called together the tribe of Reuben, Gad, and the half a tribe of Masna? Masna? I don't know how to pronounce this one. And so he told them, remember what Moses, the servant of the Lord, commanded you. The Lord your God is giving you a place of rest. He has given you this land. Your wives, children, and livestock may remain here in the land Moses assigned to you on the east side of the Jordan River, but your strong warriors, fully armed, must lead the other tribe across the Jordan to help them. Conquer their territory, stay with them until the Lord gives them rest, as he giving you rest, until they too possess the land the Lord your God has given them. So now they're getting ready to cross over into this land. And it's like, once God has given you the thing that you pray for, it's like always another step to go through, because this is the testing of your faith. This is like, okay, I need for you to be strong. You have one more part to get through. One more part. And so while I'm getting you over this last part, I need for you to be faithful. I need for you to be strong. I need for you to be courageous. And I need for you to listen. Thank you so much for the hearts. Thank you. I don't know who. I think it's maybe Addie. I don't know if Bob. Oh, Bob has said a lot of things. I'm sorry. Bob has said a lot of things. Bob says, no, I study Greek mythology. Bob says he studied Greek mythology. Oh, okay. You know what, Bob? Well, I'm glad that you came here to listen about God, which is Jesus. And if you want to ever come here to learn about Jesus, you can always come. You are more than welcome here. And I thank you for coming by. So yes, I didn't get to see Bob's his text here. I didn't see it. Sorry. So I have to find where I was at again. Thank you, everyone. So It says, until the Lord gives them rest, as he has given you rest, and until they too possess the land the Lord your God is giving them, only then may you return and settle here on the east side of the Jordan River in the land of that Moses, the servant of the Lord, assigned to you. They answered Joshua, we will do whatever you command us. So the children of Israel are now being obedient. They are now being obedient. They are now wanting to follow what the law of Moses is saying and what God has instructed them to do. And they said, we will go wherever you send us. We will obey you just as we obey Moses. And may the Lord your God be with you as he was with Moses. Anyone who rebels against your orders and does not obey your word and everything you command will be put to death. So be strong and courageous. Now, when they say put to death, like, I don't think they're literally talking about, like, maybe the person would get killed. I think that death is meaning that, you know, they're sinning, because basically they are sinning when they go against this commandment, because God has instructed Joshua to be the head leader, the commander through this. I like learning more about God, Princess says. Yay! That is so great. That is so great, Princess. Yes, I like learning about God too. I am so happy you guys are here so we could do Bible study together. Sometimes I'm doing it by myself, so it's great that I can learn with you guys. So I am learning just like you guys are learning as well. But yes, I was just saying here, Princess and Addie, I think you are still here. I was saying that when they say that anybody who went against the orders of Joshua, which is typically the commandment of Moses, the law that God gave to Moses, they said that people would be put to death if they weren't, you know, to follow it. But I don't think that they're literally talking about death. I have to see. I don't think that they mean that. I think that they're saying, like, if you don't follow the commandment, ultimately it's sin, and sin is death. So, you know, and if you're sinning, of course you're not going to be blessed, because why? You're not on strong foundation. You're not leading by God. Addie said, yes, I'm still here. Great. Great. I'm glad that you and Princess are still here. I'm not sure if Bob is here. I think he might have left. But yeah, so that is that part for this chapter here. And we are going to continue. Maybe we can do it tomorrow, because I know that it's getting late for some of you. I know it's getting late for me. But we can end the video of saying this. As long as we keep faith, as long as we continue to search and seek God and put him first, we are not to fail, because why? God got us. God has our back. He is not going to leave us. He's not going to forsake us. And as long as we keep his commandments, we are going to be fruitful, because why? God has said it. He said when we abide in him, the ultimate thing is for us to be fruitful, because why? He is fruitful. He is the one who provides for us. So we have to lean on to not our own understanding, but to see God with everything in us, in our being. Eddie is still here. Princess is still here. So I say I love you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's Bible study. If you guys want me to pray with you, I have left my contact details for my email on the, the community post. So if you guys want me to pray for you, I will be praying for you. I'm going to pray for you, Addie. I'll pray for you, Princess. And I love you all, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye for now.